And welcome back to Bushnell Prairie City High School as we are here with Coach Anderson as we get ready for the West Hancock West Prairie contest that is up next. But Coach Anderson, that game was closer earlier. I know you have a history of liking to slow things down and play a little bit. That 2-1-2 zone that they played kind of made you guys run through your offense, didn't it?
I thought Illini West did a really nice job with their zone. They're long. Like, their guards are a lot longer than ours are. And they're athletic. Both number 2 and number 3 and even number 11. I mean, they're bigger than the kids we had guarding them. And so they do a good job of covering a lot of space. And, of course, they have 2 bigs on the back line. They were causing us some trouble. We didn't move the ball real crisply, and we did not get the ball down inside against the zone like we'd wanted to. We had to adjust some things at the half. And then I thought we were able to do some more of that better in the second half. But we made some shots against it, which is sometimes what my old friend Coach Hughes used to say is fool's gold, right? Sometimes you make some of those early and you think that's all you got to do, and then those go away. Boy, you better be able to get the ball down inside against that zone too. And I thought in the second half we finally got a little bit of adjustment and we were able to do that.
Yeah, when you guys finally built a bit of a lead, it made them come out of that zone because they needed to press the issue, and then that's when we really saw if they would have that 2-1-2 I felt like is what kept them in the game. Once they went to man, they couldn't really compete.
Yeah, they did, and they did a good job with it. And they made some nice plays. Let's not take anything away from them on the offensive end either. They made some tough shots. I thought they did a really good job of running their offense. Probably the best job that they've done so far this tournament. You know, a couple of the games I watched on the videos that you post, they didn't really do a great job of running their stuff, but I thought today they did a really nice job. They cut, they screened, they were patient, and they were getting good looks against us, and they were knocking them down. You know, they made some tough shots. So I think they really have improved. I think last night they played well against Illini Bluffs, and I think maybe their guys just got a little tired. They didn't have nearly the depth, right, that we were able to throw at them. And so, you know, that game's a half or a three-quarter game, it's a completely different story, right?
Kelly mentioned Watson on a couple of occasions tonight. It really felt like, this morning, really felt like Connor could have taken no game over, and he really did on several instances.
Yeah, he did a nice job. He made a couple threes, and then when he's so smart with the ball, he realizes, okay, now they're going to start flying out at me, and so I can drive down into those gaps, and I can get the next guy that's open. He does a great job of handling the ball. Probably the thing that I'm most impressed with him so far in his junior season is how much he's improved on the defensive end of the floor. He has really gotten a lot better, and I think that's a testament to, you know, playing a lot of basketball in the spring and the summer with his travel team and things, where now that's the thing that he has to do is he has to be in that kind of role, you know, to not necessarily be the main ball handler, but now how do you get minutes? Well, I got to go out there and bust my tail on defense, you know, and he's really brought that with him into our season. So he has such a lot of responsibility to handle the ball, get us into our stuff, and score. And then now he's doing a lot better job on defense also.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I'd mentioned to Dwayne earlier. I says the biggest thing I see with Connor Watson is on the defensive end of the court. You know the young man can score. The young man can take the ball the hole, passes the ball well, takes care of the ball, all the things you said. But on the defensive end of the court, he really, really looked up. And, you know, going into halftime, I think you only had, I'd have to look at my sheet, but you only had like 3 guys in the scoring column. Yeah. And, you know, he had kind of just taken over the ball game. But, you know, the other thing is I think, you know, the big key in the game was when Manzo had 3 fouls and they set him down, and then he came in and got that fourth with like 8 seconds left, and they had to sit him down for 2 or 3 more minutes in the fourth quarter, and you guys made a big run.
Right. You know, we got real fortunate a couple times where we were trying to extend the defense, and then, you know, Connor Ham sneaks in there and steals a pass and scores right after we'd got a bucket.
Yep.
You know, those types of things are big for momentum, right? Yep. They're also big for the other teams getting the uh-ohs. We were okay, but now we're not, and so then we were kind of able to capitalize and ride that wave the rest of the way out.
Yeah, that was when the everything in the gym just changed when you hit the 3 and Connor got the steal.
That was good heady play, right? Both of those Connor Ham and Connor Watson, they're really smart athletes. Now I got to get them to take the next step and start vocalizing what they see and what they know, right? That's not necessarily easy for guys to do, but they know things. They can see things before they develop better than some other kids can. And so now you got to use that, and you got to start telling guys, hey, Nolan, this is what's about to happen. Hey, Mike, you got to watch out, because they know what's coming, or they anticipate it better than other kids do. Okay, so now vocalize that to everybody else.
That's the floor general that has to come out in that point guard and really run the show.
You get experience, and then you try to pass that on to the rest of the guys.
Now, speaking of Connor, late in the game, you had taken those guys out. Both benches kind of cleared. You put both those guys back in. I saw a few faces where people were wondering what you did that. I told Coach Sears and I talked about it. You had to have a reason. What was your thought process of putting those two guys back in?
I was thinking more of, okay, they're going to press. We got to make sure that we got guys in the right places. I don't want to put a guy off the bench in a bad spot, okay? I have confidence in the guys that we brought in, but that's a tough job to do, to come in and not be playing very much, and then now to deal with, 84 feet of pressure.
Right.
And so you bring those other guys in so they can kind of deal with that and let the other guys kind of flow into the stuff. If it was a situation to where we weren't necessarily concerned with them picking up full, I probably would have left those other guys in the whole time. It's kind of touchy, but I don't ever want to put a guy in a position to where he's going to fail, because they work hard for me. Yeah. Steven and Hunter and all those boys, they work really hard for us. And so I want to make sure that they're getting a good positive minutes while they're out there.
And that's what we talked about. I knew there was a reason you had a thought process in putting them back in there, whether you wanted to see them do something or whatever the case was. And I knew there had to be a reason. That's why I wanted to ask you, because I figured when you take people out and everybody kind of puts their subs back in, and then you put starters back in, everybody's like, oh, why you do that? Right. And so I knew there had to be a reason. I just wanted to see if you'd tell us what you thought your reason was.
You just want to make sure that everybody's put in a good position while they're out there.
Well, Coach, they're already doing starting lineups a minute before the clock. They're trying to keep this thing going ahead of schedule. So
thanks a lot.
We'll talk to you tonight, probably after you're the champion of the tournament.
We'll talk to you tonight.
All right, sounds good. Coach,
good luck.
Anderson talking to us there in the pregame show, the JoJo's Gaming Parlor pregame show, brought to you by JoJo's Gaming Parlor. They offer the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH Events, live on the big screens. Come join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street in Bushnell. Cheer the Spartans on to victory. That's how you fill a pregame show, right?
It went pretty quick. Coach Anderson does a nice job. And like we said earlier, there's a reason why he did that.
Right. And Coach Anderson's a good guy.
Yes.
We wondered why he did it too. But we knew there had to be a reason.
Yeah, and that was the thing, and
And this early in the season, I hadn't thought of that, but that makes complete sense.
Yes, it does.
Plus you want your kids, your starters, to get some experience against that pressure too, probably.
Yeah, especially this early.
Yeah, we're just starting here. The season.
It seems like we've been here forever.
Right, but it's your 4 games in, but there's only 4 days. You haven't had any practice.
Yeah.
Since this thing started, for the most part, and so this is going to be a West Prairie in the white, West Hancock in the black jerseys, and we're just about ready to tip it off. Luke Jacko and Bailey Sullivan to jump things off for this one, and Dunn comes down with it for West Prairie, as they'll have it here. Done with it again, as I gotta get my stuff set back up. And Bailey Sullivan's going to start the scoring off for the Cyclones, and just like that, Cyclones have the early 2-0 lead. I wasn't really prepared, Coach.
Well, we kind of ran a little long there.
Now a steal. Clark's going to take it back the other way. That's done with it. Over to Shirey for 3. It's in and out, no good. Rhodes gets the rebound. Down low to Clark, and he'll get the bucket. And Coach Dahl wants a timeout just that fast here to open the contest. It's a 30-second timeout for West Hancock, and we'll stay here, talk to Coach Sears. It's only 4-0, less than a minute in, and Coach Dahl's taking a timeout. He's trying to reset here pretty quickly in this one, isn't he?
Yeah, and this is like a totally different West Prairie team just in the minute we've seen them play.
Yeah, they've come out with a little fire, maybe a little bit of unhappiness from how or about how yesterday turned out with the Bombers for sure.
Yeah. Now, has Clark been starting?
He has been starting.
Okay.
Yeah, he has been starting. He hadn't been scoring much though.
Yeah.
Lemaire with it, and a 1-2-1-1 press by the Cyclones as well. They have completely changed the tempo now into a 1-2-2 zone and expanded that zone. That zone is way out there. The top three guys are all outside the three-point line. Gage Scott for three. And just like that, it's a one-point game, 4-3. Cyclones with the lead in the basketball. Done with it now as Gerhardt comes out to guard him. Sullivan with it, picked up by Scott. Rhodes has Himes on him. Dunn has Gerhardt again. Dunn for three. Off, no good. Jacko with a rebound for the Titans and a chance for the Titans to take a lead. A skip pass across to Himes for three, left side. It's in and out, no good. The rebound picked up off the floor by Dunn. He pushes it back the other way. Dumps it down to Shirey. Shire's layup is good. And it's back to a three-point lead, 6-3 for the Cyclones. 5:50 remaining in the first quarter. And this has got a completely different tempo from the first game, doesn't it?
Yes.
Now Himes brings it across half court. He's going to drive, dumps it out corner to Scott. Scott for three, right corner this time, and it's good. He's hit 2 threes, one from each corner, right?
Yes.
Done with it now. We're knotted at 6 points apiece. Rhodes to Dunn. Dunn has it knocked away by Lemaire. Lemaire is upset, said he didn't touch it. Well, he didn't touch it because he got all his arm. So a foul or a foul or out of bounds to the other team. Which would you rather have there?
I don't want the foul.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. And Dunn turnaround is good from about 4 feet, and it's 8-6. You realize we've already scored as many points in this quarter as the first quarter of the other game.
Yeah.
And we're 2 minutes and 10 seconds, or 3 minutes and 10 seconds into it. Gerhardt with it. Skip pass to Himes this time, left corner. It's up and in.
Oh!
Shooter's touch. And the Titans have their first lead of the game, 9-8. Our pace for an 80-80 game here at this rate. Don't think that'll happen, but now a foul's going to be called on the Titans. Their first. Not sure who they called that on. Gage Scott picks up his first, team's first. 4:18 remaining in the first quarter. It's 9-8. Titans with the lead on the strength of 3 3-pointers. Who was that? Gage Scott come over and knocked it away. He's playing pretty well here early in this one. Playing in place of Siegfried, who is out with the broken nose from last night. Skip again to Himes. Wide open three, left corner. It's off, no good. Rebound to Gage Scott, who lost it a couple different times trying to pick it up. Now Lemaire's going to drive, back it back out. Skips it across to Himes again. That time he doesn't take it. Looks down the corner to Luke Jacko. Now Jacko gives it to Gerhardt. Back down to Himes. Himes wide open for three again. That one's short. Now Dunn's going to drive down. Pump fakes. Gets it out to Shirey. Shire's going to drive, pulls up. And they're going to call a jump ball. Possession to West Hancock. And timeout on the floor is charged to the scorer's table. the CB timeout. We'll take a break as well and be back on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH right after this.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit.
The new facility, the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center, this is a quality facility that the patients need to match the quality of care.
And then we also have a new clinic, which is state-of-the-art.
And here at McDonough, we have a team. And everybody feels like they're a part of the successes that we have.
We have a strong team in our office and in labor and delivery. You will get the best care at McDonough District.
Welcome back to Bushland Prairie City High School. I believe in the gray sweatshirt, maybe.
That's what I was thinking.
You can see possibly Isaac Siegfried, but I can't tell if that's him or not with the hood up. But tough break for Siegfried last night in the game against BPC. 3:22 remains here in the first quarter. It's 9-8. Titans with a lead. You know, it's never good when you're trailing and you've made more baskets than the other team.
Hey, that's the game changer in the three-point, you know.
The Titans have made three buckets. Cyclones have made 4. And the Cyclones are losing by a point. You made one more bucket than them, and you're still losing by a point. That's no fun.
No, but that's what we look at when you bring that, you know.
And I don't know if the Titans have shot a 2-point basket yet, have they? I mean, they haven't made one, but I don't even think they shot one, have they?
No.
Everything.
Between Gage Scott and Himes, they've been letting the threes fly.
Well, they're wide open in the corners, and if you're going to be wide open, you might as well shoot them, right?
Yeah.
Shoot or shoot, isn't that what the saying is? Gage Scott looks down low to Jacko, and I think they're going to call that on Shirey down low. They are. First foul of the game for the Cyclones. His first, team's first. Lemaire to bring it in now. Oh, and he had Jacko wide open. Tipped away, though. Now Dunn's going to go to the rack. His shot's off, no good. Tipped around. Gage Scott comes. Oh, nice outlet pass. And I don't know if anybody touched it. What's the official going to say? He's going to stay here. He's going to say Shirey touched it.
Coach Duncan.
Coach Duncan is still pointing the other direction. Yeah, that's where it came from. Oh, you got to give him credit. He never really made a big stink about it. He just kind of stood there pointing, right? 3 on the way by Lemaire is short. Scott's going to save it in, and he stepped out of bounds. By the way, I watched the replay of Gerhardt's save at half court last night. That was most definitely not across half court. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, now Lemaire with a big steal. He's got help. He's going to go to the rack, though. Runner one-hander's off, no good. Dunn back for the rebound. Gerhardt laying on Dunn as they come up the floor. 2:28 to go, and both teams have kind of slowed down the old offense a little bit now. Clark with it for the Cyclones. He's going to dribble left, back Jacko in, dump it out to Dunn for 3, top of the key. It's in and out. Rebound to Jacko. Now Lemaire pushes it up the floor. Lemaire's going to dump it left side to Gerhardt for 3. It's off, no good. And now Dunn's going to push it back the other way. Offense effectiveness has slowed down some here. Now skips it out to Shirey for 3, right corner. It's off, no good. Man, these teams are liking the three-pointer.
And they are getting up and down. This is more of a Grinnell-style offense, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Except they ain't making as many threes as Grinnell does, I don't think. Gerhardt with it. Goes to Scott. Scott dumps it down the corner to Lemaire. Lemaire for 3. It's short off the front of the rim, or what would be the front to Lemaire. And Sullivan, who we haven't mentioned here for the last 4 or 5 minutes, it seems like, got the rebound. Clark with it with 1:30 remaining. We were over 4 minutes, and there's a bank shot by Dunn. I was just getting ready to say we were over 4 minutes since the last bucket had been scored, but Dunn gets the bucket to give his team a 1-point lead, 10-9. We went from being on an 80-point scoring average to a 40-point scoring average in a 4-minute span.
But we had a lot of shots.
We did have a lot of shots. Dunn with it after the missed shot. Rhodes with a nice pick there. Now Dunn's going to drive out, dump it to Clark for 3, left corner. It's long. Rebounded by Lemaire. It just barely skimmed around. Oh, nice pass to Himes. And it's 11-10 Titans. That was a great bounce pass.
That was. First 2-pointer of the game for the Titans.
11-10. Dunn with it. 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Rhodes with it. Duncan, Coach Duncan, everybody's standing, not moving. Gage Scott's going to pick up might call that a silly foul, huh? His second, team second. Denver Mitchell and Ashton Barkley checking in for West Prairie as Clark and Rhodes take a seat. Shirey with it, going to try and drive, goes to the hoop. It's blocked by Lemaire. It's going to go off of Lemaire out of bounds with 13.2 seconds left. And Nolan Hurt checking in for the West Hancock Titans.
I thought he would have took Scott out before that.
Down low. Dunn with it. Still guarded by Gerhardt. Barkley. Mitchell, 3-point. 2 seconds left. Now 3 on the way by Denver Mitchell. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. 13-11. The Cyclones lead at the end of one quarter of play. This game brought to you by Yetter Farm Equipment. Yetter Farm Equipment facilities in Colchester and Macomb, Illinois, is an agricultural equipment manufacturer that's been in business since 1930 and is currently hiring. Start a new career with excellent benefits and starting hourly wages of $18 to $24 per hour. For more information, call 309-776-4111 or visit them online at www.yetterco.com/careers. And Hensley Grain in rural Bushnell has a long family history of taking an active role in the Bushnell Prairie City School District and especially Spartan athletics. Good luck Spartans in 2021 and enjoy this winter athletic campaign. So 8 minutes on the clock, quarter number 2. It's 2 fouls to 1. Titans have 2 fouls, both to Gage Scott. 1 foul for West Prairie. 13-11 is the score. We are still on a better pace, but for scoring, but not as good as we thought it might end up being the way this thing took off.
Yeah. It took off pretty quick.
Slowed down immensely. We were on an 80-point, 4 minutes in, we were on an 80-point average possibility, and at the end, we're down to about a 50-point average. 52 to 44 to be technical, I guess, for those math people who are giving me a hard time already at home. Hurt to Jacko. 3 from Gerhardt is short. Picked up off the floor. Himes gets it to Hurt. Now to Lemaire as they set stuff back up. 7:30 remaining in the first half. Let us know where you're watching from, folks. Tell us who you're cheering for. Hurt for 3's off, no good. Sullivan with a rebound for the Cyclones, and it goes back the other way. He's going to give it to Shirey. He drives on Lemaire, dumps it out to Mitchell. Mitchell looks for the 3. Now he's going to drive, dump it out to Barkley. Barkley from about 16 feet. His jumper's off, no good. Lemaire with the rebound. 7:03 to go. Lemaire dumps it to Hurt. Let Jacko out to Gerhardt. Hurt now. 6:55 remaining. Lemaire again looks down to Jacko. Jacko against Barkley. His shot's off, no good. That was a good look and a good take. Just didn't finish.
It was.
Sullivan with it. 6:40 remaining. Down to Sullivan it goes. Turnaround jumper. Off, no good. Jacko with a rebound, and Sullivan was down there in heavy traffic.
Yeah. You know, as we talked about before, those are shots that you just got to hit.
Himes for 3, left corner. It's off, no good. Dunn tracks it down, and the three-pointer has left both of these teams really for the most part. Mitchell hit one at the end of the first quarter, but
as many as they're shooting.
Now Barkley from the baseline from Dunn. He can't finish. Man, they're missing a lot of easy shots now. Both teams are really. Lemaire on the dribble. Gives it to Hurt. Right side to Gerhardt. 5:53. And Jacko let the ball slip right through his hands. Clark checking in and Gage Scott checking in. Clark for the Cyclones, Scott for the Titans. 5:51 remains here in the first half. It's still 13-11. We have not scored a single point here in the second quarter yet for either team.
No.
over 2 minutes in. They both had really good looks. It's not like they haven't had opportunities, but yeah, you want to say defenses are playing pretty well. It's not the defenses are horrible, but offenses have worked. It's just haven't finished.
They're getting the looks. The ball's just not falling.
Dunn got a good look there, and he missed that one. And Jacko's going to tip it out to Lemaire, but Lemaire can't track it down, goes right to Dunn. Dunn's going to drive, and a foul on the floor. No basket. Wasn't a good whistle, but it was a whistle. Fouls on number 10, Gerhardt. His first, team's third. 5:23 to go here in the first half. Dunn will take it out for the Cyclones. Mitchell with it. And another missed opportunity, and it goes back the other way. 5:12 remaining now.
It's almost like a ping pong match, isn't it?
It is.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Except you score faster in ping pong. Ball goes out of bounds off of the Cyclones on an attempted pass from Scott. Jacko takes a seat. Himes checks back in. Lemaire has it from the official who tossed it at Lemaire. You don't see that happen very often. Lemaire missed it. Gerhardt is going to set up the offense. Under 5 minutes to go now in the first half. And Lemaire cut on Gerhardt. Oh, a nice little try to bounce past to Himes. And it's stripped away. What do they call him? Kicked the ball.
When the ball was when it was down there rolling around, he kind of booted it with his foot. That was a good call.
It was. He did try to hold it with his feet. That's what I thought. He was trying to get a jump ball with his feet. Yeah. I'm like, they're surely not calling jump ball with his feet, are they?
Yeah. Brad Gooding was on top of that.
That's what I thought he was going to call it first. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I've seen a lot of things, but never seen that before. 3 on the way by Sullivan is off, no good. Lemaire with the rebound. We're approaching the halfway point of this second quarter, and neither team has scored here in the second quarter. Gerhardt to Lemaire. Lemaire long 3. That's long enough and good enough. And it's 14-13. The Titans have the lead now. Denver Mitchell, a nice look to Sullivan, and Gerhardt's going to pick up the foul. But they better hope it's Gerhardt. It is his second. Team's fourth. And under 4 timeout here for the CB break. We'll take a break as well and be back on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH right after this.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
I chose physical therapy because I knew I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I wanted to be able to help patients in some way related to more in depth. We get to know our patients, and that's really what kind of sets us apart.
And welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. And Miles has the camera off-centered, but we are on the West Hancock bench and talking about a couple of players we've seen. I don't know that we get to vote for the all-tournament team, but we're seeing enough of these games. We know we would probably have our team, and Lemaire is one of them that would be on that team, isn't he?
Yeah, he definitely would be.
He's does a lot of good things, not necessarily the biggest scorer for this team, but he does a lot of good things. And Jacko's another kid that works his tail off down low.
Yeah, he does. You know, and as Coach talked about last night, that Jacko's just got to start finishing more. You know, they're getting him the ball. He just got to finish more.
You know, and then you got Dunn on the other side who's had several really good games too. He's got to be free throw is good for Sullivan. He's going to be in that talk as well, obviously, for West Prairie. Sullivan is a guy that came out of the gates that way, but has been relatively quiet here the last couple games.
You know, he hit a lot of threes early.
15-14. Himes for three. It's good. And a timeout charged to West Prairie. 30-second timeout. And you can see Coach Duncan less than impressed. Those corner trays have been open all night, and he's not happy about it. What's 1-2-2 zone? My experience has been against a 1-2-2 zone, that corner three is what's going to be open, right? That's the hardest thing to cover in that defense.
Because
right?
your outside guy's got to. He has to get there, and usually what happens is that the middle guy don't drop down to the middle, or the far side guy doesn't come across, and you can dump that into the inside.
Right. Rotation on a 1-2-2 is against a team that likes to shoot threes is pretty tough.
Yeah.
That's more of a zone when you generally is a zone against a team that's got big guys, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have the size.
And you know, look at what Illini West did against Macomb with that 2-3.
Yeah. Or 2-1-2 really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you can spread that out because you got that guy in the middle, right?
Yeah. And like Coach Anderson said, Illini West very long.
Shirey for three. It's off, no good. Jacko with another rebound. Once again, folks, let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. Haven't had any live chat this morning. Hopefully, we've had some people watching. Hopefully, everybody's awake and enjoying their morning. Or are we still morning? Just barely. Almost afternoon. Hurt with it.
11:52.
And Clark might have got away with one there. Sullivan's going to drive, and he got hammered.
Lemaire.
Yeah, it was both sides. They're going to give it to Lemaire, though. You're right. First one is good for Sullivan.
3 for 3.
Second one is good as well. Just a little pressure again for the Cyclones. Scott has it from Lemaire. Now they're going to stay in that extended. This is a zone trap, it looks like now maybe. Trying to press the issue a little bit. Himes is going to drive. Comes out to, I think, was that going to Jacko or Lemaire?
I don't know. I thought Jacko, but.
Three from Himes is in and out, no good. Jacko with the rebound, and he's going to be fouled by Dunn. That's only the third foul for the Cyclones, his first on Dunn.
Jacko hits the boards hard.
Yes, he does. His dad was kind of the same way. Lemaire short on the three. That was an NBA three. Shirey, as we're knotted at 17 with 1:45 to go in the first half. Clark stole it from Dunn. I think that was supposed to go to Dunn. Now Dunn's going to drive on Lemaire. Clark misses the shot. That's Rhodes missed the shot. Got his own rebound as he stole it from Jacko, but Jacko got the rebound the second time. Lemaire's going to drive, dump it out in the corner to Himes for three. It's good. They are living by the three-pointer in this
They
first
are
half.
today. That's Himes' third three.
Done with it. He gets around Lemaire, running one-handers in and out, no good. Himes with the rebound now for the Titans. Chance to build on a three-point lead here. Hurt with it. Into Jacko, back to Hurt. Hurt's going to drive, dump the corner to Scott, and he traveled with it. 46 seconds remain here in the first half. This has been a pretty quick first half, too.
Both games have been.
This rate will be done in about a half hour. That's 25 minutes to a half hour. That's pretty quick. 36 seconds left. Clark with it. Rhodes to Dunn, 32 seconds. Dunham loft up a tray. That's kind of an ill-advised shot at that point in the quarter, I think. His team down by 3, 20-17. Beth Finn is watching from Chicago. Go Titans. Thanks for joining us, Beth. Appreciate it. 10 seconds remaining. Titans with the basketball and a 3-point lead. Lemaire to Hurt and to Jacko. Jacko's jumper is short, and that's how the quarter will end. So the end of the first half of play, the Titans 20, the Cyclones 17. We'll take a break here on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH and be back in just a couple minutes.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit.
The new facility, the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center, this is a quality facility that the patients need to match the quality of care.
And then we also have a new clinic, which is state-of-the-art.
And here at McDonough, we have a team. And everybody feels like they're a part of the successes that we have.
We have a strong team in our office and in labor and delivery. You will get the best care at McDonough District.
At Country Financial, we enjoy serving the community in which we live, big or small.
I love living in the Blandonsville area. It's where I grew up, went to school, and decided to raise my family. I never had a desire to live or work anywhere other than in a small town. I feel lucky to help my longtime friends and neighbors with their insurance needs. It's like working with family every day.
I'm Brett Powell, your local Country Financial representative, whose door is always open to work with you.
Dry needling is where you insert a filiform needle into a muscle, a tendon, a ligament, sometimes a bone, and it promotes blood flow and circulation so that it heals that particular painful area.
Some farmers I know swear by a name, say they'd never operate anything else. Well, here are a few names for my Fendt 900 Gen 6 series. Fuel Saver, Time Maximizer, Game Changer. I like those names.
I became a nurse practitioner because I wanted to do more, I wanted to learn more, actually have more hands-on individually with patients. The rewarding part for me is that I get to come to work and learn something new every single day.
Welcome back to Bushnell Prairie City High School. Game number 2 of the final day of the Spartan Tip-Off Classic 2021. As you can see, the Titans lead the Cyclones 20-17. And it started off really fast-paced, scoring a ton of points. It slowed down by the end of the first quarter, slowed down even more in the second quarter. We went from a 80-point possibility to a 40-point possibility, or to a 50-some point possibility at the end of the first quarter to a 40 and a 34-point possibility. So it's slowed down immensely.
Real quick. Well, for West Prairie on the scoring end, Denver Mitchell had a tray. Braxton Dunn with 4 points. Luke Shirey with 2. Bailey Sullivan with 6. And Brandon Clark with 2. And the only points that West Prairie scored were 4 free throws by Bailey Sullivan in the second quarter.
That's kind of surprising.
For West Hancock, Colin Lemaire with 3. Gage Scott with 6. And Alec Himes with 11. So we're looking at, and they have 6 threes.
So they've scored 20 points and have 6 threes. That is Grinnell style, just not making enough of them to be Grinnell style,
and
right?
Just not playing as quick as Grinnell.
Yeah, it's 20 points and 6 threes. That's pretty impressive, actually.
Himes had the only 2-pointer, no free throws.
They didn't even shoot any, did they?
Nope. I had to.
And the only player in the whole game that shot any is Sullivan, right?
I had to do my math on that, and that keeps coming out to 20.
They haven't shot enough baskets to have 20 points.
I was like, whoa.
Well, we talked about, so you add the 4 free throws in there. So what's that come to? 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they've actually made the same number of buckets. Is that right?
Yeah.
Actually, they've got 7.
7.
So the free throws have tried to equal out the 3-pointers, but not enough. It's kind of crazy. I mean, you don't see that very often. You just don't see that very often.
They're living and dying by the 3, though.
Yes, they are. They are living and dying by the 3, and they shot a bunch of them. I don't know. We should have. If I had my old stat keeper program, we might have been able to keep up with that. But I bet they might be 25%.
If you're shooting 25%, you're shooting pretty good from 3-point.
Well, I was always told 33% is what you want to shoot. You should shoot 33%.
You are, but if you can shoot 25,
and you're shooting that many.
Because I coached in that Grinnell system, and I know we would want to get at least 80 shots a game.
That's a lot of threes.
Putting up 83s.
Yeah, that's a lot of shots. That's a lot of threes and a lot of running and gunning right there. So you have to do pressure defense to do that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, no zone on your end.
And a lot of times they just let them, like Grinnell, if you ever watch them play, they'll just let them run down and score. We want the ball. If they score, they score. We want the ball back.
That's
And I will tell you, if you ever have the opportunity, like when Grinnell plays in Monmouth College or Greenville down by St. Louis, go watch them play. They'll put up 150, 160 points, and it's crazy how quick they score.
I don't think I'd want to call one of those games.
And a lot of times they'll just leave a guy down on one end, and he'll just stand outside the 3, and they'll just outlet right to him, and he'll just launch the 3.
Well, this isn't quite that. West Hancock's coming down, and I mean, you can't really say anything at all negative about West Hancock shooting those threes. They're getting that corner 3 open.
Yeah.
80% of the time they touch the ball there, they're open for a wide open look.
And Coach Duncan's not happy.
No.
So
he did try to extend the zone and try to do, it looked like maybe a zone trap.
Yeah, 1-2-2 trap where they were getting out on the corners, and
obviously that opens you up to some backdoor cuts, and when you're trapping somebody's open.
Yeah.
But it does pressure the 3 quite a bit more. So we'll see what they continue. This game being brought to you by I've got my wrong sheets out here, folks. I apologize. Got to find my right one. The one I wanted was the one I put away. Now that's probably hard to believe that I'd mess something like that up, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's early in the year. We keep blaming it on that early in the year thing.
Yeah, it's early in the year. I don't think it has anything to do with it, but I like the way you think.
Maybe you didn't take your Prevligen this morning.
Oh, I should have taken an energy drink or something, I think. This game is being brought to you by Country Financial Agent Brett Powell. Your farm is your legacy. As a leading farm insurer, Country Financial is here to help protect your farm. Call Brett Powell, your local country rep, at 309-652-3889 for a free quote today. Also being brought to you by McDonough Telephone Cooperative. The West Prairie game stream is made possible by McDonough Telephone's fiber internet. McDonough Telephone offers lightning fast and reliable fiber internet, video, phone, and camera systems to the McDonough County area. Call 309-776-3211 to check your availability. And if you live in West Hancock area, I don't know how far the McDonough Telephone Cooperative goes. They do cover part of Hancock County as well, and they have great service, and it's high quality and reliable internet and phone systems. So check them out if you get the chance.
They are to Carthage, so they may be.
They may get over there some. I don't know how far down there they go. They may get to Hamilton. I can't remember. I've seen the old MTC phone book for a lot of years, and I just only paid attention to to the people that I was worried about, if that makes any sense at all. So 20-17, under a minute to go in halftime, and we're ready to get going again here. Kelly, what's the key for the Cyclones in the second half?
Well, the big thing, I think, the Cyclones is that they're going to have to extend that zone out like they did towards the tail end. But the big thing is they just got to finish in the paint and make some shots. I mean, you cannot win ball games with just making free throws in a quarter.
And for the Titans?
I would say that they got to get the ball into Jacko and let him finish, and that's going to – because they have totally went away from even covering the middle. If you've noticed, there's, West Prairie, they're not even worried about the inside paint stuff, and they're just trying to stop the three.
So here we go. Titans basketball to open the second half of play. It's going to be Gerhardt to inbound it to Lemaire. And they're in a 2-3, you might have just heard Lemaire say. So they're trying to take the corners away, just like we talked about, aren't they? And you can see right there how much better it does at that. Skip pass is the only thing that hurts the 2-3, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's a kick by Rhodes. It'll be Titans basketball still.
I had a high school coach that always said the 2-3 was just a lazy man's defense.
It does require the least transition.
Yes.
For the defense, which makes it easier to cover all areas, obviously. But at the same time, a skip pass or a quick ball movement can still, just like that. Now it's going to be tipped around after the miss by Scott over there. Gerhardt's going to drive into the zone, dump it out to Lemaire. Lemaire for three, top of the key. It's off, no good. So 2 threes to open the second half for the Titans. Now it's going to be Shirey with it, and he's going to have it stolen away by Gerhardt. Gerhardt's going to go to the lane against Shirey, back it out, and thinks better of it. Going to go to Alec Himes, now to Gerhardt for three. There's the third three of the half, and they're not 33%. They're going to have to work for 25, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
6:47 to go, and Dunn's going to have to bring it across half court. He does. Gerhardt picks him up. Sullivan with it now. Really would like to see Sullivan more involved in this offense, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and I guess it's just a little disappointing to us.
There he is right there.
As spectators, where he was so good early and he's just kind of faded away.
Gage Scott just picked up his third foul. And just like that, Lewis Siegfried is going to check in for the Titans. Sullivan's going to be at the free throw line. He's 4 for 4, and I jinxed him. Lewis Siegfried does check in now. And he missed them both. Ball picked up by Himes after Dunn nearly stole it away from him. And we still haven't scored in this quarter either. The average points are dropping quickly here. Lemaire with it, right side to Gerhardt. Oh, he wanted a three, didn't take it. Himes will take it. No, he won't. Jacko will. And they're not even going to be 25%. 0 for 4 from the three-point range to start the quarter.
But they keep shooting.
They keep shooting. That's what shooters do, right?
Yep. You got to keep shooting.
Dunn. Oh, and Lemaire was just a split second too late. Shirey's going to drive to the hoop. His shot's off, no good. Tipped around. It's going to finally be picked up by Rhodes, given to Dunn. Dunn's going to dump it out to Shirey. He takes the baseline, and he misses a shot. Jacko with the rebound. Lemaire pushes it up the other way. Oh, he's got a look from the free throw line. It's short. Sullivan with the rebound. We're at the 5:28 mark. Still no score in the third quarter. Shirey for three. Says that's how you do it, kids. And it's 20-20. West Prairie, FYI, is 1 for 1 in the second half from the three-point range. Into Jacko, out to Lemaire, across to Himes, three.
Nope.
0 for 5. This happens to Grinnell occasionally too, right?
It happens to everybody.
Shirey loses it off his leg. Siegfried picks it up. Lemaire now had Himes, gets it to Himes. Down low, puts up the shot. It's in. Only the second 2-point bucket of the game, the first basket of the second half for the Titans, and they retake a 2-point lead, 22-20. Himes had the bucket there as Lemaire and Himes did a little 2-on-1 fast break. Sullivan for three. It is no good, and Jacko another rebound. Oh, a nice bounce pass from Lemaire to Himes. That was another sweet bounce pass by Lemaire.
That was a great pass.
From about 10-foot line, he bounced that through about 10 defenders. Well, there's not that many out there, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Through 10 people right to Himes. Now 3 on the way from Shirey is good. And it's back to a 1-point game, 24-23. The offense has come to life a little bit finally. 3:48 remaining in the third quarter. Gerhardt with it. Skips it across to Himes for three. It's off, no good. Jacko with another rebound. Himes is going to drive this time. Foul's going to be on the floor, I think. Yep. White, 30, Rhodes. His first, team's first. This is the intermediate timeout. This game being brought to you by Community News Brief. For all your local news, subscribe to Community News Brief Weekly Edition, mailed directly to your home every Friday. As an option, you can also receive the Monday and Wednesday editions by email. All this for only $42 per year or $38 per year if you're 65 or older. Single copies can be purchased at select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, and Blandonsville, and, of course, in Macomb. And McDonough District Hospital, thank you for voting McDonough District Hospital Rehabilitation Center and as best of the best in McDonough County. Let their experienced and dedicated sports medicine and rehabilitation staff show you why MDH has been voted best of the best in 2017, 2018, 2019, and again in 2020. 3 convenient locations to serve you, 2 in Macomb and 1 in Bushnell. 3:37 to go in the third quarter, 24-23. Titans with a 1-point lead over the Cyclones, and you said that this should be a good game as we got ready to start today, and it's the shooting hasn't been great through portions of it, but it has been a good game.
Yeah, it's been a very good game, and I was sitting here thinking, as at this point, if you've had to pick a team that has grown more throughout the tournament, I would have to say West Hancock.
I would agree with that.
I mean, and even with Siegfried out right now, they are still playing very well, and they're getting better with every game. And I think Coach Dahl is doing a lot of good things with them, and they're just growing as a team every game they play.
And the other thing is if you're going to lose Siegfried for a few games, this would be the time to lose him, right?
Oh, without a doubt, And I don't know what their schedule is like for the next week or so. But a lot of times guys won't come back and play Tuesday. They'll wait a week, come back on Friday after the tournament just to give the kids some rest.
3:25 remaining in the third quarter, and Lemaire's pass is tipped away by Mitchell, picked up by Rhodes, and Dunn brings it across half court now. Shirey's going to drive. Everybody let him go, and he gets an easy look at a basket, and that's 8 points here in his second half for Shirey, isn't it?
Yes.
3:05 to go in the third quarter, and the Cyclones retake a 1-point lead. Now Himes was looking into Jacko, and I think they're going to call Clark on the foul. It is Clark. His first, team second. Gage Scott checking back in with 3 fouls. Going to replace Jacko, give him a little breather. And Jacko has been not much in the scoring column, but he has been a dominant force at the block.
He plays hard.
Now Gerhardt is going to have it knocked away. And a timeout's going to be called by West Hancock. That's their second timeout of the game. That'll leave them with 3. Those timeouts, and I understand in a game like this, maybe every possession counts. But those timeouts, there's times those timeouts are needed, and there's times that are not. I struggle with that. Oh, I'm going to save a possession by this timeout. I struggle with that a lot.
I have to agree with you. Where instead of getting a turnover, you call that timeout. Well, you lose that timeout on a possession. And the big thing is when it comes down to, in this ball game, a 1-point ball game, it gets down to the minute, you're going to need every timeout you can get.
Right, and you called a timeout 4-0 in this game.
Yes.
And then you call that timeout to save a possession when you're down by a point in a game that hasn't had much scoring. That timeout could be huge.
Yes.
And that became a thing, I don't know, about 10 or 15 years ago, I think, that they started doing that. Now Lemaire is going to get unhappy with, I think, Alec Himes, who gets called for a 3-second violation. Showed a little emotion, did Lemaire there. That's the first time we've really seen him show any emotion at all. And ended up, and see, that makes that timeout even worse, right? Now, nice pass down to Clark. Done with the pass, and the Cyclones have a 3-point advantage. So you took a timeout, Gage Scott with it now, and then you end up turning it over on a 3-second violation. Now Lemaire into Himes, back to Lemaire. He'll take the 3. And West Hancock, who had made all those 3-pointers in the first half, is yet to make one, and they've shot like 8 here in the second half.
Yeah, but on the flip side of that, West Prairie's been hitting it. Luke Shire's got 2. A call that you very seldom ever see anymore is 3 seconds in the lane.
Yeah.
And I've been watching, and I had a couple counts on a couple players, and they were in the lane for like 10 seconds.
Clark picks up another foul, his second, team's third. Yeah, it's like they almost don't look at that anymore.
Yeah.
Himes with it. You have to really, as they used to say, put up camp and light the fire before you get a 3-second violation anymore. Gage Scott for 3. It's good. And we're knotted at 27, 1 for 9 from 3-point range here in the second half, but they've stayed in the game.
It's good to see Gage back in the ball game because he's the one that banged those first 2 threes down in the first quarter.
Yes, it is. Done with it now. Is looking to give his team the lead again. Lewis Siegfried's back in the game. And Lemaire got beat by Shirey, and Gerhardt's going to pick up the foul. That's his third. Team's second of the second half. Once again, folks, I want to thank Beth for telling us she's watching from Chicago as we have Shirey at the free throw line. But let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. Shirey at the free throw line hits the first one and takes the lead for the Cyclones. Jacko checking back in, as is Nolan Hurt. Lewis Siegfried and Brian Gerhardt taking a seat. Shirey's second free throw good as well, and back to a 2-point lead for the Cyclones. Extending the zone press a little bit again here. Wonder if they'll stay in the half court. Nope, they're going back to the 2-3. And Nolan Hurt gets called for the travel. Little pump fake, but he shuffled the feet before he put the ball down.
Yeah. And you gotta take your time with Hurt because he's young. He's only a sophomore.
Under a minute to go now here in the third quarter. Mitchell with it. Denver Mitchell looking for some way to go. Gets the Clark back cut. His shot's off, no good. And Jacko may have got away with a little push on Clark there. And somebody, maybe Rhodes?
Yep.
It is going to be Rhodes picking up the foul. His second, team's fourth. Are having more fouls. Shouldn't say calling more fouls. It's a little more physical game here in the second half.
Yes.
40 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Gage Scott with it. Now to Himes. The corner 3 has not been there for the Titans like it was in the first half. Hurt with it now to Himes. Back to Hurt. Top to Lemaire for 3. It's off, no good. Gage Scott with the rebound. Going to settle for one shot now. Nope, Lemaire's going to drive, dump it out to Scott. Scott for 3. It's good. Gage Scott gets his fourth 3-pointer, and he gives his team a 1-point lead. 1 second, three-quarter court shot is no good.
You were thinking it was online, but it just fell a little bit short.
It's like, this one might actually count. That's what I was thinking. We've seen so many of those last-second shots that are let up, and then it's like right after the buzzer, right?
Yeah.
That one was going to count if it was going to go in.
I was looking, and I thought, this one's got a chance. It does have a chance.
It was just a smidge short, though. So we'll take a break. It's getting ready to start the fourth quarter as we come back. 30-29, the Titans with a 1-point lead.
At Country Financial, we enjoy serving the community in which we live, big or small.
I love living in the Blandonsville area. It's where I grew up, went to school, and decided to raise my family. I never had a desire to live or work anywhere other than in a small town. I feel lucky to help my longtime friends and neighbors with their insurance needs. It's like working with family every day.
I'm Brett Powell, your local Country Financial representative, whose door is always open to work with you.
Welcome back to Bushnell Prairie City High School. Crowd is a little bigger for this game than it was for the Macomb Illini West game, but not a whole lot.
Not much bigger.
I'm guessing everybody's saving their evening or their basketball for the evening session.
Or we hope that if they're not here, we hope they're watching us.
That's right. Share the link. Let them watch. Subscribe, if you would, especially if you're from West Prairie. You see, oh, no, Lemaire is going to get a foul there. Yeah. No, they called a jump ball. Huh. I thought that was going to be a foul. Lemaire driving in there.
Yeah.
But they call a jump ball, so it's going to be possession to West Hancock. 30-29, the Titans with the basketball and the lead, 7:42. Now's where pressure starts to come in, right? Hurt has it on the skip pass. Goes down to Jacko. Lemaire, he's going to dump it out to Scott. Not a good passer. It might have been another chance at a three. Now Lemaire, he's going to look, and he's going to get called for the travel.
You know, the big thing is with Scott, Lemaire, and Himes, when they're out there on that edge, if you watch their hands, they got shooters' hands, and their hands are ready to shoot as soon as they catch.
Yeah, they're looking to shoot the ball, aren't they? Sullivan pull up from the left elbow, off no good, gets his own rebound. Well, had his own rebound. I don't know who they're going to call that out on. Gage Scott.
I thought it was going to be a jump ball.
I think it probably almost should have. They were both out of bounds and they touched the ball. But I guess they thought that Scott touched it first out of bounds, which would not matter if Sullivan touched it after that, right?
Yeah.
And Shirey driving, gets it swiped away. Himes picks it up, and it's going to go back the other way by Lemaire. Skips it across to Scott, up top to Lemaire. Right side to Hurt. He looks at the three, drives, dumps it back out. 6:48 to go here in the basketball game. It's a 30-29 lead for the Titans. Into Himes. Skips it across to Hurt. He'll look. Nope, doesn't take the three. Pull-up jumper from the baseline. Off, no good. Jacko with the rebound. Out to Hurt. This time he'll take the three. It's short. Jacko tips it out again. Lemaire has it. He's going to pull up. Looks down to Jacko. Jacko misses the bucket but gets his own rebound again and throws it out to Hurt. That's 3 offensive rebounds for Jacko on that series. And 4 shots for the Titans.
And they didn't
get a bucket to fall. 6:05 remaining, and that's a series you might have to remember. A whole lot of work from Jacko, and the Titans end up with nothing. Done with it under 6 minutes to go now. Down to Shirey as he's taking Hurt to the basket. Going to call the foul on the floor, and it may be on Nolan Hurt. It is on Nolan Hurt. His first, team's third, excuse me. Gerhardt checking back in for Hurt because Shirey was going to abuse Hurt down on the block, wasn't he?
Yes.
And they try to get it into Sullivan, and it's knocked out of bounds by the Titans, and it'll go back in to possession of the Cyclones. 5:53 remaining in the basketball game, still 30-29. That's where we ended the third quarter. Look down low to Dunn. Dunn pumps, turns, pumps. Clark for 3. It's short. And it hit about 3 players because it didn't get any rim on the way under, did it?
Yeah, it was one of those they were ducking out of the way of the ball.
5:35 remaining. Gerhardt, pull up, right side. Gage Scott gets called for a travel.
He wasn't too happy with it either.
No, that was one I didn't think he ever moved his left foot, to be honest with you. I thought he moved his right foot twice, but they were a little closer and obviously have better eyes than I do too, so especially right now. Sullivan, and he gets another foul. It's going to be on Scott, I think, and that'll be 4 if it's on Scott. It is on Gage Scott, his 4th. Team's 4th. 30-29 still, and Sullivan, who is 4 for 6 from the free throw line, is going to try to improve that average a little bit, and he does. We are knotted at 30 apiece now, and Scott's going to have to take a seat, and Nolan Hurt's going to have to check back in. Wonder if they send Shirey right down to the block with him again, if they won't put Lewis Siegfried back in. And a 1-point advantage for the Cyclones after Sullivan improves to 75% from the free throw line. Across it comes to Gerhardt. It's a kick. Wasn't really a kick as it went off the leg. It'll be West Hancock basketball. 5:02 to go in the basketball game. 2 free throws is all that's been scored here in this quarter. And they were by the West Prairie Cyclones to retake a lead. Gerhardt for 3. It's good. Brian Gerhardt gives his team a 2-point advantage now with 4:45 to go in the basketball game. Back and forth. This game has gone the whole way. Shirey with it now. Oh, a nice give and go, but the pass was right at Sullivan's feet. Across, a nice pass from Himes to Luke Jacko.
That should have been a double dribble on Himes, but
that's Jacko's first bucket, isn't it?
Yes.
He's got about 15 rebounds. Oh, nice look down from Shirey to Sullivan. And it's 35-33 with 4:08 to go. I'm trying to decide, and I'm trying to decide if this up-tempo little haphazard play is better for, and there's another timeout by the Titans. Say 30-second timeout.
Or is it?
And it's going to be made the full timeout, so they'll be charged a 30-second, but it'll be expanded to a full. And all that he had left was full timeouts because they used their 2 30s. And it is the under 4 media timeout as well. This game being brought to you by Good Hope Gardens, located at 445 East Main Street in Good Hope. That's just east of the North Elementary School. Open April through October for all of your fresh produce needs. Yeah, they're closed right now, but they're getting ready for spring. Grover and Mary Jo DeCounter and family invite you to Good Hope Gardens. Come see where it's grown. So, 3:59 to go here in the fourth quarter. Titans having a little trouble getting the ball across half court there against the press of the Cyclones. The Cyclones trail by 2, but what I was trying to say there before that timeout was I'm trying to decide whether the up-tempo haphazard play helps the Cyclones or helps the Titans more.
You know, I think it helps the Titans more.
They seem to be a little more controlled in that style of play, but the Cyclones have been taking advantage of it too. So that's where most of the offenses come, especially here in the second half, is when the two teams start kind of just running, you know,
yeah.
and things get sporadic and we just do whatever comes naturally. That's where the offenses come. The 2-3 zone is really taken the corners away and slowed down the three-point shooting of the Titans by the Cyclones.
Yeah, it has. But, you know, usually that 2-3 zone also collapses in the middle, and they haven't did that good a job on Jacko because he's had a lot of looks inside the paint.
They had a ton of rebounds. Gerhardt, Lemaire, 3:48 remaining. 2 timeouts is all that's left for West Hancock now. Jacko at the free throw line. Gerhardt for 3, right wing. Off, no good. Himes with the rebound, and there's going to be a foul, I think, on Rhodes. It is his third. Team's 5th. Lemaire now to inbound. Up top, it comes to Gerhardt. Nolan Hurt down to Himes. To Jacko, to Hurt, to Gerhardt, to Lemaire. Lemaire for 3. It's off, no good. Himes had it temporarily, but Sullivan knocked it away. With 3:20, a chance to tie or take the lead for the Cyclones now. Done with it. Left wing, picked up by Lemaire. And he gets in. Oh, Lemaire was thinking he's going to have Himes. Shirey for 3. Gives his team a 1-point lead. And that's his third 3 of the second half, isn't it?
Yes, it is. With 15 points.
Lemaire going to have to get it across. He does again. Oh, and Jacko was wide open. He had a look. Just couldn't get it down there. Gerhardt with it with his team trailing by 1. Hurt now on the skip pass. Lemaire back to Gerhardt. To Lemaire. Into Himes. And Jacko needs to cut to the basket right there, and he's got a layup. Jacko, of course, that may not be part of the offense, right? Lemaire to Hurt. 2:30 remaining. Gerhardt. Hurt, far side, 3. Off, no good. Gerhardt with the rebound. Throws it, tries to just save it in bounds, and he threw it where he thought Hurt was going to be, and Hurt wasn't quite there. Clark's going to check back in, replacing Denver Mitchell. And the Cyclones, with 2:18 remaining, have a 36-35 lead. Gage Scott is going to come back in with 4 fouls for the Titans. And this one's going to be a good one down the stretch, I think.
Yeah, we got 2 minutes of good basketball.
Done with it. Shirey, oh, Scott. If Scott didn't have 4 fouls, he might have went for a steal right there.
I think he would have.
Now Shirey's going to have it tipped away. Lemaire's going to save it, throw it to Gerhardt. Lemaire had just enough time to plant that foot and get a good jump and turn around, and he found Gerhardt. And under 2 minutes to go now, and the Titans have the basketball trailing by 1. Gerhardt with it. And they've expanded to 2-3 now, and that pivot position at the free throw line is going to be wide open if they can get some ball movement. Gerhardt into Himes. Down to Jacko. 3, left corner. It's off and no good. Sullivan with the rebound. 1:25 to go. Can the Cyclones, now at this point, you don't have to shoot, right? You're up by a point. Why not just hold? And they've got 3 fouls to give. If you're West Hancock, you got to start fouling here, don't you? Because they don't have to shoot.
I would go wait till a minute.
And now a 30-second timeout charged to West Prairie. 1:06 to go. We're going to keep it here, and we're not going to talk about ads. We're going to talk about what Kelly has to say.
They're going to when they came across the line, Coach Duncan was hollering 5 out, 5 out. And, you know, he's got the 5-guard offense anyway, and he's got everybody pulled out, and they are just going to try to run the clock. And I would probably say that West Hancock's going to come out. I haven't seen anybody go to the scorer's table because, you know, I wouldn't foul Shirey or I wouldn't foul Sullivan, but nobody else has shot any free throws.
So you would expect Scott to not be guarding Shirey?
Yes.
Or actually, you'd expect Scott to be guarding Shirey or Sullivan because you don't want him to get one of his 5th foul.
Yes.
And those are the people you don't want to guard or you don't want to foul, right?
Don't want to foul.
And Scott is on Rhodes, who is one you would expect you'd want to foul. That's kind of surprising to me. 1:03 remaining. I don't think Dunn is one you'd want to foul either. And there's how do you?
He got it.
Holy smokes! He did get the call, and I thought they weren't going to call it. That's a good call. As they grabbed a whole handful of jersey on Lemaire, and the foul's on number 20, Bailey Sullivan. And
I thought Coach Dahl was going to take a timeout right now. And if you remember back to the end of the first half, same scenario.
Yes.
And West Hancock got the shot, went ahead, going in at halftime.
I guess this is why you don't foul, right?
Yeah.
But here's the problem with not fouling. You still only have 4. If you run any time off the clock here, you're going to have a hard time fouling enough times in 40 seconds to even get them to the free throw line to get the ball back.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why when you have 2 or 3 fouls to give, you want to foul those fouls and get them out of the way at this point so that you can foul if you need to.
But there's also some coaches' philosophy is that we play such good defense on the inbounds play, we want to get to steal.
Right.
So,
which is kind of what happened.
Yeah. And you got a lot of different philosophies out there and what's right and what's wrong. And
the Titans are in the bonus now.
Yeah. So if they hold the ball for a while, West Prairie is going to have to foul.
Right. Well, they don't have to because the Titans are down by a point. But
yeah, you're right, but I wouldn't say they would foul. But if they do foul, they're going to put them to the line.
Right.
They get behind.
Yeah, that's good for West Prairie at this point. You know what I'm saying? They don't have any fouls to give now. 3-pointer on the way. It's off. No good. Rebound by Himes. He's going to put it back up. It's in. And Himes gives his team a 37-36 lead with 32 seconds remaining. We're going to keep at this rate. We won't be in overtime at least, right?
You're exact.
Done. Oh, my goodness. Rhodes picks up his 4th. It's a non-shooting foul. Timeout on the floor charged to West Prairie.
Man, that's a
tough place to make that call.
Yes, and
whether he did it or didn't, it's just a tough place to make that call.
I think he was leaning a little bit into it, but still,
But that's where, we've talked about how good of an official he is. If you're an official and you're going to call that at the 2-minute mark into the game or at the 30-second mark into the game, you have to make it at the 30-second mark out at the end of the game, right?
You're exactly right.
I mean,
I totally agree with that.
So if you're going to make that call, it's a call all the time. We sit up here and say, "Oh man, it's a tough call to make." If you make that call, you have to make the call. I mean, that's
and Brian made the call,
right, and he's been consistent about it.
Yes, he has.
So it's not like it's a new call or it's a bad call. It's just a tough call to make at that point.
Yes,
but he's called it consistently.
He called it consistently, and I think he would have made that call anywhere during the point in the ball game.
Right, and that's what my point was. It's just tough to make it at that point in the game.
Yeah,
and This is the time. This is the hardest time of the game to be an official.
Oh, without a doubt.
Because you don't want to be the reason something doesn't work, or you don't want to be the reason they do whatever, Oh, and they get a steal, and they're going to get a layup. Sullivan makes it, and the Cyclones are up by 1. Now it goes back the other way, and the final timeout is going to be called by the Titans. With 9.9 seconds left, great defense on a ball tipped away by Dunn and an outlet pass to Sullivan. And the Cyclones, boy, this is just like, I've got goosebumps. This has been back and forth. This is a great finish.
9.9 left.
38-37.
I'm anxious to see what Coach Dahl's got up his sleeve, and he's been around a long time, coached a long time. He's been back and forth across the border.
Yeah, it's drawing some, and they got plenty of time to get a good shot here.
Without a doubt.
But holy smokes. That was not how I expected that to go.
No. Great job by Bailey Sullivan.
Yeah, and it's done on the steal, I think, is who that was. And it's going to be, here we go, into Lemaire. Dunn picks him up. Now don't forget, it is, Himes for 3. Off, no good. Jacko with the rebound, put back, and it's good. The basket is good by Luke Jacko, and that's how it ends. The Titans get the bucket by Luke Jacko at the buzzer after the miss by Alec Himes. And Luke Jacko, who has been there, he had to have 8 offensive rebounds today. None of them, and I mean none of them, bigger than that one.
That's the game-winning shot, isn't it?
Oh, my goodness. Holy smokes. Is that Siegfried, I think, right there in the tan sweatshirt, actually?
Yeah.
Had the wrong sweatshirt. Man, oh, man. Tough heartbreaker for the Cyclones of West Prairie. Holy smokes. Spartans getting ready to come out now as they'll play Illini Bluffs. The game will start in about 15 minutes, and we'll have at least 1 or 2 coaches' interviews to go before we start that one. Man, oh, lie. I don't even know what to say about that. What I'll say is we're going to take a break right now. We're going to go back to our BPC feed, and we will have hopefully both coaches on after that one at the start of the next game. How's that sound to you, Kelly?
Sounds good.
Okay, well, actually, why don't you give out some stats here real quick before we go.
For West Prairie, Denver Mitchell with 3, Braxton Dunn with 4, Luke Shirey led all scorers with 15, Bailey Sullivan had I would say, a quiet 12 points. And then Brandon Clark with 4. And for West Hancock, Brian Gerhardt had 3. Colin Lemaire had 3. Gage Scott with 12. Alec Himes with 17. And Luke Jacko with 4 and the game-winning shot.
Yeah, on an offensive rebound. So a huge. That was a great game. I know that we cover West Prairie on the regular, and we love to see West Prairie win, but we love to see great basketball, and that was a fun game.
That was an excellent game.
That was a fun game. So we're going to take a break here on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. The 1 o'clock game will start in about 13 minutes. We'll have hopefully both coaches on in the pregame show. We'll be right back after this on TSSR Game Time Live. Don't forget, the next stream is the Bushnell Prairie City Illini Bluffs stream, game number 3. That's where the coaches' interviews will be. We'll talk to you again very shortly.